How is it that some series are legendary and others are just mediocre? For example, all series that are iconic and popular with viewers require good acting. And this, in turn, is one of the main components of success. But the main thing is also that the series must have its own unique style to become popular, and the people who create it must be very talented, so that each story is truly special. Time will tell what kind of footprint this series will leave behind. But its discussion rate at this point in time is quite high. According to official sources, the new episode will be released in the very near future. The premiere show is scheduled for July 11th. Viewers are expecting a rich and informative plot, as well as emotional acting, from the upcoming episode. The authors have established themselves as professionals, judging by their other projects. Therefore, it will not be difficult for them to evoke bright and vivid emotions. And this is exactly what we all want from any series. Movies and TV shows are some of the most popular forms of entertainment worldwide, and it's no secret that they often need to be adapted to other languages to reach broader audiences. Firstly, the process of adapting a movie or TV show to another language requires more than just a simple translation of the script. Translators must take into account cultural nuances and differences, idioms, colloquialisms, and even jokes that may not translate well. This means that a lot of creative work must go into the translation to ensure that the humor, emotions, and overall impact of the original content are conveyed in the target language. One common approach to adaptation is voice dubbing, which involves replacing the original audio track with a new one in the target language. In this case, the new audio track is recorded by voice actors who match the lip movements of the actors on screen. Dubbing can be a challenging task, as the voice actors must not only convey the emotions of the original actors but also match the tone and pacing of the original audio. It requires an excellent command of the target language, as well as acting skills to make the dubbed version sound as natural as possible. Another approach is subtitling, where a written translation of the original audio is displayed at the bottom of the screen. Subtitles are popular in many countries, and they allow viewers to enjoy the original audio and the performances of the actors. However, subtitling also requires careful attention to detail, as the text must be timed correctly with the on-screen action and not take away from the viewer's focus on the visuals. While there may be some changes made to the script, the goal is always to stay as true to the original as possible while still making it enjoyable for the target audience. But when done well, it can provide viewers with an engaging and entertaining experience, regardless of their language or culture. Moreover, the process of adapting movies and TV shows to other languages has become increasingly important as the global entertainment industry has expanded. With the rise of streaming services and the ability to reach audiences around the world, content creators and distributors must ensure that their content can reach as many people as possible. This has led to an increased demand for high-quality translations and adaptations, which has created a new market for language professionals and studios. The adaptation of movies and TV shows to other languages is a complex and demanding process that involves much more than just a simple translation of the script. It requires creativity, cultural sensitivity, and a deep understanding of the target audience to ensure that the essence of the original material is preserved while still making it enjoyable for the local audience. With the continued growth of the global entertainment industry, the demand for high-quality adaptations and translations is only set to increase in the future, making it an exciting. Movies have been a significant part of our culture for over a century, entertaining and transporting us to other worlds and times. However, many people argue that movies used to be better in the past, and it's hard to disagree with them. There's a certain charm and magic in classic movies that modern films seem to lack. One reason for this sentiment is that movies from the past had more depth and substance. Filmmakers used to focus more on storytelling, characters, and themes that resonated with audiences. They didn't rely solely on flashy special effects or big-name actors to sell tickets. Instead, they crafted compelling narratives that captivated viewers and left a lasting impression. Another reason is that the film industry was less commercialized back then. Studios took risks and allowed directors and writers to have more creative freedom, resulting in a diverse array of films with unique perspectives and styles. Nowadays, it seems that everything is formulaic, with studios churning out cookie-cutter movies designed to appeal to the widest possible audience. Furthermore, the technology of the past played a significant role in creating a sense of magic and wonder. Back then, filmmakers had to rely on practical effects and practical stunts, which required ingenuity and creativity to pull off. Nostalgia may also be a factor in why people say that movies used to be better. Classic movies evoke a sense of nostalgia for a time when life was simpler, and the world seemed more magical. We remember the movies of our childhood with fondness and view them through rose-colored glasses, making them seem better than they actually were. While modern films have their merits, it's hard to argue that they capture the same magic and charm as the movies of the past. Imagine this: you've been waiting for months to watch the latest blockbuster movie that everyone's been raving about. You've managed to avoid all the trailers, teasers, and news articles about it, just so you can experience the excitement and suspense for yourself. Finally, the day arrives, and you head to the theater with your friends, eager to see what all the fuss is about. But then, you hear someone loudly discussing the plot twists and ending of the movie. Your heart sinks as you realize that the surprise has been completely ruined for you. You may feel angry, disappointed, or even robbed of the experience you were looking forward to. But why do spoilers have such a negative impact on viewers? The answer lies in our natural inclination towards suspense and surprise. As humans, we enjoy the feeling of not knowing what's going to happen next, and we like to be kept on the edge of our seats. When a spoiler reveals key plot points or twists, it takes away that element of surprise, and the experience is no longer as enjoyable. In fact, some studies have shown that spoilers can actually enhance the viewing experience for certain people. For example, some viewers may prefer to know what's going to happen in a movie or TV show before they watch it, so they can focus more on the details and subtleties of the story. However, this is a personal preference and not a solution that works for everyone. Have you ever stopped to wonder where all the money comes from to bring your favorite TV shows and films to life? It's a question that's puzzled many, and the answer is both fascinating and surprising. First off, it's important to understand that making a TV show or film is no small feat. It takes a lot of time, effort, and, of course, money. So, where does that money come from? One source is the studios themselves. Many studios have financial backing to fund their own productions. They can afford to invest millions of dollars into a single project and hope to see a return on their investment in the form of box office receipts or streaming revenue. Another source is independent financiers. These are wealthy individuals or companies that invest in films or TV shows in the hopes of making a profit. They often have a passion for the arts and are willing to take a risk on a project they believe in. Many of them are financed by production companies who then sell the rights to networks and streaming platforms. This can involve a complex web of negotiations and deals. For example, a production company might approach channels with a pilot episode, hoping to secure funding for a full series. If the network is interested, they might offer a licensing fee or agree to co-finance the project. Alternatively, some shows are financed entirely by a streaming platform, such as Netflix or Amazon Prime, who then retain the rights to the show. Another way that filmmakers can finance their projects is through film festivals. Many festivals offer financing opportunities or connections to potential investors for winning films. Additionally, a film that receives positive buzz at a festival can generate interest from distributors who might be willing to finance a wider release. Of course, some of the biggest productions in TV and film are financed by major studios with deep pockets. These studios have access to vast sums of money and can afford to take on the financial risk of producing big-budget films and TV shows. However, even studios have to carefully consider which projects they choose to finance, as there is no guarantee of a return on their investment. Filming safety is not just a matter of ticking boxes or following a set of rules. It's about ensuring that every member is able to work with complete peace of mind, knowing that their well-being is being taken care of. In the fast-paced and dynamic world of filmmaking, safety is crucial, and it can't be compromised. Think of it this way: you're on set, the cameras are rolling, and the actors are performing a particularly intense scene. Suddenly, you hear a loud crash, and you turn to see that a light has fallen from the ceiling, narrowly missing one of the actors. It's a heart-stopping moment, and it's one that no one wants to experience. That's why filming safety is so important. It's about creating an environment where accidents like this simply don't happen. It's about making sure that every piece of equipment is secure, every wire is properly insulated, and every crew member is trained to react quickly and effectively in an emergency. But filming safety isn't just about preventing accidents. It's also about creating an atmosphere where creativity can thrive. When you know that your safety is being taken care of, you're free to focus on your craft, whether that's acting, directing, or operating a camera. You can push yourself to new heights, knowing that you're in good hands. It's also essential that all crew members are properly trained and qualified for their roles. For example, camera operators should be trained in working at height and using harnesses, while electricians should be trained in working with electricity safely. By ensuring that everyone is properly trained, the risk of accidents and injuries can be greatly reduced. Have you ever watched a film or TV show and found yourself completely immersed in the world on screen? The characters, the story, and the dialogue may all be important elements, but it's the scenery that can truly transport you to another place and time. Scenery is more than just a backdrop to the action. It's an essential part of the storytelling process, a visual representation of the world the characters inhabit. The right scenery can create a mood, evoke emotions, and add depth to the narrative. Imagine a Western without the sweeping vistas of the American frontier, or a sci-fi movie without the futuristic landscapes that transport you to another world. The scenery helps to create a sense of place and time, drawing you into the story and making you believe in the world on screen. But it's not just about creating a believable world. Scenery can also be used to add symbolism and meaning to the story. Think of the ominous, foreboding castle in a horror film, or the idyllic, sun-drenched countryside in a romantic comedy. These settings tell us something about the tone and themes of the story. Scenery can also be used to reflect the emotional state of the characters. A bleak, rainy landscape might mirror a character's sadness or despair, while a bright, sunny scene might indicate their happiness or hopefulness. One of the great things about scenery is that it can be used in so many different ways. It can be used to create tension, to set the mood, or simply to make a scene more visually interesting. The possibilities are endless. Of course, it's not just about what's on screen. The right soundtrack can enhance the scenery and bring it to life. The sound of waves crashing on a beach or the chirping of birds in a forest can create a sense of atmosphere that draws you further into the story. Welcome to the world of entertainment in the 21st century, where computer graphics have become an indispensable part of the filmmaking and TV industry. From the breathtaking landscapes to the realistic dinosaurs, computer graphics have revolutionized the way we tell stories on screen. But why has the use of computer graphics become so prevalent? Simply put, it's because they allow filmmakers to create things that are impossible or prohibitively expensive to do in real life. Want to show an alien invasion of Earth? With computer graphics, it's no problem. Want to recreate a historical event like the sinking of the Titanic? Computer graphics can help make it happen. But it's not just about creating things that are impossible in real life. Computer graphics can also help make things look more real. For example, imagine you're shooting a scene in a city, but it's too expensive to shut down streets and bring in all the people and cars you need for a realistic-looking shot. Computer graphics can also be used to create virtual sets, which can be used to film scenes in locations that are too dangerous or impractical to shoot in. With computer graphics, you can create a digital version of the city and add in all the people and cars you need, giving you a more convincing scene. Another reason why computer graphics are so prevalent is that they save time and money. In the old days, filmmakers would have to build elaborate sets and models to create their vision on screen. This would take a lot of time and resources. But with computer graphics, you can create everything you need digitally, which can save a lot of time and money. But despite the challenges, computer graphics have become an integral part of the entertainment industry, and it's hard to imagine a world without them. From epic battles to stunning visual effects, computer graphics have allowed us to tell stories in ways that were once impossible. Movies and TV shows have always been a powerful medium of storytelling and entertainment. But beyond their primary purpose, they also have the power to influence the behavior, opinions, and lifestyles of viewers in different parts of the world. From shaping political views to setting fashion trends, media has the ability to impact our lives in a myriad of ways. One of the most significant ways in which movies and TV shows influence viewers is by creating cultural icons and heroes. These characters become role models for viewers, shaping their values and attitudes towards different aspects of life. Another way in which media influences viewers is by shaping their perception of the world. News and current affairs programs have the power to sway public opinion on various issues, from political ideologies to social movements. Similarly, fictional movies and TV shows can also create stereotypes and prejudices that can influence the way viewers perceive different cultures and races. The impact of cultural icons and heroes extends beyond entertainment and can have real-world consequences. For instance, the representation of different cultures, races, and genders on screen can influence societal attitudes towards these groups. Positive representation can challenge stereotypes and promote empathy, while negative representation can perpetuate harmful biases and discrimination. Furthermore, cultural icons and heroes can also influence consumer behavior, particularly in the fashion and beauty industry. For instance, the popularity of a particular hairstyle, clothing item, or makeup trend on screen can lead to an increase in sales of these products. Similarly, the portrayal of certain lifestyles and values on screen can shape consumer choices, such as the decision to adopt a vegetarian or vegan lifestyle. When a movie fails to make its budget, it can have serious consequences for everyone involved. First and foremost, the studio that produced the film will take a financial hit. They've invested millions of dollars in a project that hasn't paid off, and they'll be scrambling to recoup their losses. This can lead to layoffs, budget cuts, and even bankruptcy in some cases. But it's not just the studio that suffers when a movie fails. The actors, directors, and crew members who worked on the project may also face repercussions. A failed movie can damage their reputations and make it more difficult for them to get future work. The impact of a failed movie goes beyond just the financial losses, though. It can also have a profound effect on the industry as a whole. If too many movies fail to make their budgets, investors may become wary of putting their money into new projects. This can lead to a decrease in the number of films being produced, and a loss of creativity in the industry. So, what causes a movie to fail? There are many factors at play, including poor marketing, bad timing, and weak reviews. Sometimes, a movie just doesn't resonate with audiences the way the filmmakers had hoped. Other times, external factors like a global pandemic can completely derail a film's chances of success. But just because a movie fails to make its budget doesn't mean it's a complete disaster. Some films have gone on to become cult classics, beloved by audiences long after their initial release. And even if a movie isn't a critical or commercial success, the experience of making it can still be valuable for everyone involved. In the end, the movie industry is a gamble. Every time a studio invests millions of dollars in a project, they're taking a risk. Sometimes that risk pays off, and other times it doesn't. But even when a movie fails to make its budget, it's important to remember that there are always lessons to be learned, and new opportunities on the horizon. Movies and TV shows have the power to captivate us, to transport us to different worlds and immerse us in stories that we might never have otherwise experienced. Yet, as we all know, not all movies and TV shows are created equal. Some leave us feeling bored and uninterested, wondering why we wasted our time in the first place. So why do some movies and TV shows fall short in capturing our attention? The answer lies in the complex mix of factors that go into creating a truly captivating story. One of the main reasons why some movies and TV shows are boring is simply that they fail to engage us emotionally. A great story needs to have characters that we care about, with motivations that we understand and can relate to. Without this emotional connection, we simply don't care about what happens next. It's like watching a sports game between two teams you don't care about. There's no investment, no reason to keep watching. Another reason why some movies and TV shows fail to capture our attention is that they lack a sense of urgency or tension. A great story needs to have stakes, something that the characters stand to gain or lose. Without this sense of tension, there's no reason to keep watching. It's like watching a movie where you already know the ending. There's no surprise, no anticipation. But perhaps the most important factor in whether a movie or TV show is boring or not is pacing. A great story needs to be well-paced, with a steady rhythm that keeps us engaged and interested. If a story moves too slowly, we get bored. If it moves too quickly, we don't have time to process what's happening and become overwhelmed. Pacing is a delicate balance, and it's one that many movies and TV shows fail to get right. Of course, there are many other factors that can contribute to a movie or TV show being boring: poor writing, bad acting, uninteresting cinematography, and so on. But at the end of the day, it's the emotional connection, the sense of urgency, and the pacing that make or break a story. Making a film is no small feat. From the scriptwriting to the casting, every step requires effort and, of course, money. And as we all know, the bigger the film, the bigger the budget. But with the rise of indie films and the democratization of filmmaking equipment, is it possible to make films cheaper without compromising on quality? Let's take a look at some of the costs that go into making a film. First and foremost, there's the cost of talent. A-list actors and directors don't come cheap, and their salaries can account for a significant portion of the budget. Then there are the production costs, costumes, sets, special effects, and so on. And let's not forget about the marketing costs, which can easily run into the millions of dollars. But perhaps the biggest game changer in making films cheaper has been the rise of digital technology. With the advent of affordable digital cameras and editing software, filmmakers no longer need to rely on expensive film stock or post-production facilities. This has opened up a whole new world of possibilities for independent filmmakers who can now produce high-quality films with relatively low budgets. Of course, there will always be big-budget blockbusters that require millions of dollars to make. But the democratization of filmmaking has given rise to a new generation of filmmakers who are using creativity and resourcefulness to produce films that are just as compelling, if not more so, than their big-budget counterparts. Moreover, making films cheaper doesn't necessarily mean sacrificing artistic vision. In fact, having a limited budget can force filmmakers to be more creative and think outside the box. They can explore unconventional storytelling methods, use practical effects instead of expensive CGI, and rely on sound design to create atmosphere instead of expensive set pieces. This can lead to films that are more original and memorable, as they stand out from the crowd of big-budget blockbusters. Hollywood studios tend to play it safe and stick to tried-and-true formulas, as they are reluctant to invest millions of dollars in untested concepts. But indie filmmakers can afford to take chances and push the boundaries of the medium. This can lead to groundbreaking films that challenge our assumptions and expand our horizons.